Oh, the volume's too high. Oh, I forgot to change the title. Or whatever. Yo, Gabriel Shadow. How are you? I'm good. Hope you're doing well as well, Valk. There's not gonna be a video today. Nothing to make a video on, anyways. Wait, did I already? No, I didn't do my dailies. Yeah. For a second, I thought I did my Wuwa dailies, and I forgot. I was like, maybe I started my stream for no reason. Oh. Yeah, I literally like so I got on what's it called? Like Twitter for like seconds and I instantly saw yeah, I saw the casters teaser, yeah. I think if anyone was having speculations on whether or not she'd be a big drop, like I think it's undeniable at this point. I don't think you can really deny that she's gonna be like the big drop at 3.x. At that point it's just cope. She looks amazing, she does. I'm already seeing people switch up on her like, oh, I'm pulling now. Because they, like, a lot of people just wanted to go for, Wiggly on my day. I shouldn't even be this tired. I haven't been awake long enough. Alright, let's go farm the Tacit field right here. Just got Carlotta, but I don't have a single gun. If you're like a completely new player and you don't want to go for this, just keep wishing on the standard banner until you get this one. Like put it on the pistols and then just get it. No, the dragon does look fire. After Buhom getting her, good luck, Valg. You sound tired. I mean, I haven't like talked all day, and it's a bit late currently, so it makes sense. I haven't been getting good sleep lately because my dog seems to have like some type of issue that I'm gonna have to take him to the doctor soon. And he like barks and yells, like he'll bark any time of the day. So every time I go to sleep, I'll wake up like 1 or 2 hours later because of his barking. Like this entire last week, I've been running on like 2 hours of sleep daily. It's been not very good for me. That's why I decided not to do a video today, and instead just do like a short live stream instead. Be better for my health. Hope he gets better. Yeah, I hope so too. It doesn't affect most of my family, but for some reason I just have very sensitive hearing. Even if he's like incredibly far away, I'll wake up to it. Sucks to hear, man. It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry too much. I'm fine for the most part. Just some bad sleep. It'll probably go away eventually. Brandcasters Phoebe all look so cool. Yeah, they do. Hello, Cappy Hybrid. Hello, Chem. Yeah, Brant looks really good. Like, he looks way better than I thought he would. Another My Day situation for me, unfortunately. Defense, health, havoc, and arrow. Not what I was looking for. I'm so unsure who to pull. I mean, just pull whoever you like. I think all the 3-point X's will last quite a while, but Castrus will for sure probably last the longest, without a doubt. Just another Acheron situation. A lot of people keep calling the Herda like another Acheron situation, but like, I'm gonna be honest, just because she's an Emanator and she needs what's it called, eruditions and best in slot teammates, like Castrus is much more similar to an Acheron situation in terms of like the support she'll get in the future and how strong she'll be when she drops. I'm skipping the Herda. It's understandable. I don't think the Herda is really like a must pull, but she'll for sure last a lot of people who just like want to get her because they like her like a decent while, right? I can't say a long while because I think we're all aware of Honkai Star Rail how bad it's getting, but a decent while for sure. That's understandable, Angel. I missed you. I miss you too, Fletcher. Thanks for stopping by. Wuwa dailies are so fucking easy to do. Thank God. Huh? There's something in the mail? Oh, that's it. Whatever. Getting the Herda, I would only bench Fei Xiao, casters, and I'll bench the whole follow-up team. I mean, yeah, I honestly think like it's completely fine to bench the follow-up team, especially with like the end game becoming more AoE focused because of the Herda, Maide, Phenon, casters. Like every single one of these guys are at least blast. It's it's not looking good for single target units. Yeah, it makes sense though. Like if we really think about it, like for 2 X casters, or sorry, not casters, Acheron. Like when Acheron came out, that ult animation was by far just the best animation in the game for a long time. Like for quite a while. It makes sense. They always level it up on those types of characters. Why do I keep yawning? I'm not even that tired, by the way. So like, all of a sudden, I feel like yawning a lot. I wasn't yawning like this, like literally, like 5 minutes ago. Bro, Fletcher. Okay, man. Okay. Uh, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just constantly tired. Noise is what it is. It's still so good, but Castris is gonna be crazy. No, exactly. Like Castris will for sure be like a big, big, big drop. I can't wait for her to come out already. Her and My Day, I'm just gonna run them. I will probably pull Phenon, but I don't want to replace My Day, man. Like, am I really gonna have to bench My Day after only 3 patches? Like, that's just so bad. I don't want to do that. Is my volume low? Let me see if I can make it any higher on my settings. 1 second. Setting. No, like I keep pressing the wrong thing. Right, settings, system, sound. Is that better? Do you guys prefer it a little louder like that, or do you want me to go back? Or is it even like any louder at all? Oh, are you talking about the volume in game? Are you maybe talking about it in game and not my mic? All right. Yeah, I had to put it on like the absolute max to make it a bit louder. It was on like 85 out of 100. My mic? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sugar. I'm sorry. Rip my boot hill. He's gonna be useless going into 3.x without Sunday Fugue or Harmony MC. I mean, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to make any more videos complaining about it because I will continue to play Honkai Star Rail. Because even if I get to the point where, like, the power creep's so bad that free to play slash slow spender, like, half of that population isn't able to clear MOC anymore because of the power creep, I'll still probably play the game, but, like, without caring about the end game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's about it. I just think like the direction it's going in is just like it's very very bad. I'm not looking forward to like 3.x HP inflation, 3.x like DPS power creep. Like, oh, sorry Nova, I'm sorry. Do you guys? What do you guys? I mean, I could put it just slightly lower. Maybe that would help a bit. Like I can put it to 95 like that. Maybe that'll help people more. Yeah, they tease Chaos versus Dragon. It's very cool. Like that animation is incredibly fluid. And it's as large as we thought, right? Like a lot of people were saying maybe they'd like scale it down for whenever it like took a turn or whatever, but it's just as big as it was before. I mean, I will say in one of the trailers, I think his size was a little over exaggerated, but or technically her size cuz I think it's her sister, but all right. Sorry, Cam. Volume was fine before you changed it. I'll just put it on 90 then. That's 5 above. It shouldn't be too drastic of a difference. Looks like the dragon won't be on the battlefield, but just appear from a rift. Yeah, it could be. It's just like either ult or like every time it takes action. It's either one of those two, probably. Maybe both, right? It's not a leak destroyer. You just go on YouTube, literally just put Honkai Star Rail, and like one of the top search results for like recents is the animation of casters. It's not a leak. They're Hoyo themselves is purposely hyping up casters to build more hype for when she drops. It's the same thing they did with Acheron. How's it going, brother? It's going good. Just a little sleepy, that's about it. I'm doing good, Bruno. How about you? I haven't really like paid attention to kits at all because I am completely clueless kinda when it comes to Wuwa. So I can't really give like a full opinion on it. I have heard Brant is like a very universal character who could maybe be good with Chang Li. So I think that's probably who I'll use Brant with as my Chang Li if I manage to pull him. And Phoebe, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look into Phoebe at all. I didn't really look into Phoebe at all, because I decided I wasn't gonna pull for her anyway. Like I'd rather just pull Brant. Like it's for 2.1 of Wuwa, it's just Brant and what's it called? Shorekeeper. Those are the two I'm interested in. I don't really care about Phoebe all that much. I do this at Honkai Star Rail too, so it's like In Honkai Star Rail, I'll only really do like kits for characters that could seem interesting and that I might pull for. Like for example, currently I don't really have any motivation to make another leak video on Tribby. I probably will when she gets her in-game leaks, right? So I can actually make a video on how strong she seems, but I'm not interested in Tribby currently as much as I am like My Day, Castris, Phanon. I'm pretty sure it's random, Bruno. I'm pretty sure it's just random. I don't think it's like you pull a 5 star and then the game like automatically after that 5 star predetermines what the next 5 star will be. Like it only happens once you actually hit the pull, I'm pretty sure. Picked Encore for support. Didn't know she's a freaking DPS. Is Encore still like top tier or something? I think I have an Encore now, but she's like unbuilt. Yeah, I have an Encore. I don't know how good she is though. I don't think it'd be possible to predetermine it, Bruno, because then you'd also have to predetermine like 5 stars and 4 stars, and that predetermination of the character you'd get, or like whether you'd win or lose, would carry on to the next banner, which would make no sense. Like if they don't do it for the characters, they probably don't do it for the chances either. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just like once you get whatever, like you just have a chance of getting one or the other. Do I have anything for my Carlotta? I don't want to farm Sentry Construct. It's so boring. Let me see if... Where was it? Where was it? Alto? Yeah, there's a one cost. There's a one cost. So I can get a decent one cost. Fuck! Oh, it's always the same fucking bear. I have 4 of the exact same, and I just can't use them together, man. Oh, my head hurts. Is consistency the same bear? No, I'm saying like it's over and over and over again. It's I don't understand it. I just don't. Nah, I don't really want to call in anyone in the world currently. This is gonna be a lot more of a shorter and more like chill stream probably. I don't think it's gonna be like 3 hours long. It might not even be 2. I'm not using YouTube currently either, or like any social media. Gives me too many headaches. Is Castor's animation been? It's not a leak. Yeah, they just made a teaser and uploaded it on their YouTube. Just search up Honkai Star Rail or like Honkai Star Rail Castris. It'll probably be like the first thing up there. I've heard Empyrean Anthem is good for Mortefi, even though he's incredibly underleveled, but maybe I could just level some up for the stream. I only have 3 attack, 1 cost, okay. Yeah, I don't think it's predetermined at all. Garbage. Wait, oh, tuners is the bigger problem, no? Yeah, I have like no tuners. Okay. What do you mean? What? What the? Brother. They just randomly spawn on me? Okay. Alright, let's see. Empyrean Anthem. Where is it? I don't even use Mortefi anymore. I don't know, like, is there any use for Mortefi? I just don't use him anymore. Maybe if I, like, ever use my Gion, is he still, like, best in slot with Gion? Oh. See, this is the bait, right? I'm going to tell you exactly how this is going to go. I'm going to get 2 juicy substats here, which are going to make me want to go up to 25, and then I'm going to get nothing on this 25. Okay, maybe not 2 juicy ones, but 1 decent one. But this is pretty ass, I'm not going to lie. This one. Yeah, I did, Vlad. I watched it. Yeah, they're going all out for her. It's just Castrus's world and we're just living in it. Wow. I mean, wow. Okay. I'll gladly take that. That was just, wow, that caught me off guard. Mid-piece? You just have too high of expectations, to be honest. That's all it is. You should lower your expectations, especially in this game. Crazy double crit? Yeah. Maybe here again? Can't always get that lucky, can I? Well, at least I have something I can feed as something else. This is why I watch you. You are so lucky. Yeah, I'm the luckiest guy, the luckiest streamer out there. Pumping out the best lucky content there is. I wish I was a little luckier. Do I have three costs for Empyrean Anthem? Let's see. Havoc, Fusion. That's the one I need. I'm not even lucky in relics either. I spent 10,000 Trailblaze power on the Herdus domain. I got completely fucked over. Fuck. Okay. I don't even have another fusion damage bonus. Like I don't have an attack percent either. Wow. Just a wow. My goodness. I have some Empyrean Anthems of this, but jeez, what are those main stats? How's echo farming going? I got 1 W, but like I can't even use the echo right now. My Mortefi's like level 50. I don't even think there's anyone on my account who could use the Empyrean Anthem. No, I wasn't specifically farming for Mortefi. Those are just the excess echoes that I got from farming for Carlotta in the Tacit field over here. Yeah, this one. Like you just get excess echoes of Empyrean Anthem and this thing. And I also got a lot of them from synthesis. Yon Wu, I think he's like level 0 on my account. I'm gonna be honest, I think he's level 0. Oh, never mind, he's level 60. Why did I get him to level 60? What am I doing? What do you think of Phoebe's and Brant's gameplay? Not gonna lie. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I don't think I saw Phoebe's ult, but every other part of like her animations, I was a bit disappointed. However, Brant, in my opinion, Brant is just a lot better. I'm not gonna lie. Like Brant looks less fluid than Phoebe does, if that makes any sense. But Brant just looks like he has a way, way better play style. Yeah, they weren't anything like phenomenal. Even Brant's weren't like anything that took me aback. But Brant's are, in my opinion, for sure better than Phoebe's. Brant looks like really cool to play though. Like outside of animations, he looks really fun to play. Like that thing where like he swings midair and he can constantly like come back over and over again and like spin around the enemy. Like that looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. I do look forward to Brant though. Actually, if I get Brant, could I skip Shorekeeper? Could I just put Brant in my Cheng Li team and Verena on my other team? Because I heard Brant is still a healer. Or is that wrong? He's like a healer sub DPS from what I've heard. An elf dancing on the water. I don't know who that could be, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about any elves dancing on water. Yeah, so I can probably skip Shorekeeper if I get Brant. Okay, that makes things a lot easier for me then. That makes things way easier for me. I'll probably get Brant, run him with my Cheng Li, and then my other team will just be my Jinshi or Carlotta. And I'll run Verena on that team. Nah, I don't want to, Blad, though. Like, not gonna lie, I don't really want to get both of them. Especially since I already have Verena, like one more healer, and I think I'm good. I don't want to pull for both. I'm gonna pull for two healers and only end up using two of them anyways. I'd rather just like get one. And then get like maybe a new DPS in the next patches that I want more. And considering my luck with 50/50s, I don't think I'd be able to get both. I'm not gonna lie. Like, assuming I go to soft pity, if I lose the 50/50, it's 60 plus 60 plus 60, which is 180 pulls. Like, I'd probably have to farm and clear the entirety of next patch to get that. Like, I know that might sound like a worst case scenario to some people, but that is just the normal scenario I go through in every gacha game. Like, almost every single pull I've gotten in gacha games has been at pity. and I just have a history of losing 50-50s. Yeah, that's a possibility, Brian. I did see people saying, or I didn't watch the video, but I did see some people hyping up Spectro Rover a little bit more because of the new Radiance set for Spectro. What's good? Nothing much. What about you, Shark? I mean, we should have learned after Herda, right? Like that Herda ult, and the fact that it's probably only gonna get better for like the newer 3.x guys. Yeah, Castris is probably gonna be like best animations wise. I don't really have much of doubt about that. But I'm curious about my day. I'm really curious about my day and his animations. I hope he isn't underwhelming. Is that the Sentinel that people have been telling me about, Sugar? Some people come in here once in a while telling me that's the name of the Sentinel, who's supposed to release in like 2.2 or something. Wait, is there leaks for it, Angel? Is there leaks for my day? My glorious king, you're in danger and you have to choose between Baiji to save you or Yap Yap to save you. Who are you taking? I don't know who Yap Yap is, but I'll probably take Yap Yap. Oh, you're saying on Monday. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought for some reason that maybe you misspelled my day. So I kind of assumed like that's what went wrong. So I was like, oh, are my day leaks already out yet? I completely forgot. You still pulling Brant? Yeah, probably. I don't really care about Phoebe all that much. And since Brant's actually like ended up being a healer, I'd rather get him over Shorekeeper and what's it called? Phoebe. So I'll probably be going for Brant. I'm really excited for Honkai Star Rail. I need to watch less gacha videos. Like I'm not gonna lie, with this entire like the power creep and HP inflation stuff, like the last few days I've been watching a lot more of the main gacha content creators out of just like straight boredom because they make clickbait videos over and over again of the topic, and I expect them to actually say something with like half a brain, and then they just say nothing. Like half hour long videos, an hour long video, an hour and a half long video, and it's literally just nothing. It's just rage bait. In a Garby Maru stream without him dissing by she. Hey, just I don't understand the Baiji hype, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's the same as the Kafka hype in Honkai Star Rail. I've never understood it. I don't think Tribi will be all that strong. I think she'll be a niche support like Sparkle. Like I said this before, it is actually very possible that Tribi ends up being the next Sparkle because Sparkle was kind of created to uplift Dill's niche of being incredibly SP hungry, and then no one else after that came out that was like SP hungry or as SP hungry as Dill. And right now, Trippy's niche is attacking, and the only comps that can really take advantage of that are Fei Xiao and the Herda. So, like, it's completely possible that it's just another niche that'll get an upgrade down the line. I've already said this so many times, Kuroshio. Like, they need to make another Harmony soon. Like, Sunday is just best in slot in almost every team in the game at this point. Any team where Robin isn't best in slot, it's probably my day. Like 90% of the time, unless it's break. Like, we really badly need another new Harmony. That is for, like, the Remembrance characters at least. I did play ZZZ. I only played it, like, when it first released for, like, I think a week or two. And then I quit it because the TVs back then were just very, very bad. Like, it was ruining my experience of the game quite a bit. That's understandable, Draco. That's what Remembrance MC is for? Yeah, but you're probably gonna want to use a Sunday Remembrance MC combo for every Remembrance DPS. Like, that's what people are doing for Aglaya, and that's what people are gonna do for Castris probably. So you have to put Remembrance MC and Sunday together to make one optimal Remembrance DPS team. And now now you don't have any more Remembrance buffers. No, exactly, Shadow. That as well. I never want to play three gotcha games at the same time again. Like, it feels so bad playing, like, a large amount of gotcha games at once. Like, it genuinely starts to interfere with, like, my life and shit. Like, I wake up, I'm like, oh, I gotta do three different dailies on three different games. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to do that. I'm not sure yet, Vega Star. I do think Ling Sha will probably be the best in slot sustain for Castris until Hyacine releases. Whenever she releases, I don't fucking know. But until Hyacine releases, yeah, I'd say you put Ling Sha is likely gonna be the best healer for Castris. It makes sense as well because the leakers are saying that Castris drains the HP of everyone on the team as well. So yeah, it's like at least like abundance confirmed. And I think Luocha more so fits my day than he fits Castris because of my day's specific requirements. Oh my goodness, Jerry, I couldn't imagine. It was already bad enough with three for me. I could never do four or five. Then again, it's a bit different for me. I have a weird like obsession with my mental health. Like I always just want to be in the best position I can be. So the moment I feel like something is starting to give me headaches or annoy me, and like genuinely interfere with me daily, like I'll just get rid of it. Yeah. I'm going to bed. See you, Gabby. Hope your dog gets better. Thank you so much, Shadow. I hope you have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. You think it's underwhelming? You think that dragon's underwhelming, really? Well, I will say, like, they were hyping up the dragon to be a lot more, like, fierce and scary and, like, a more serious. But it is HSR at the end of the day. Like, I don't think they would have done. Like, it is what it is. Like, it translates way worse in game 90% of the time. That's understandable, Yuri. That's understandable. Yeah, the new 4-star will probably be the best in slot with my day is what the leakers are saying right now. So, I think it's a good thing, right? Because a lot of people these days, like, no one really wants to waste their pulls on a limited sustain, right? Like, let's all be honest. A lot of people don't want to waste their pulls on a limited sustain. So now that there's like two meta sustains for free to plays, it makes it a lot better and a lot more convenient for people. Especially for those who might not be able to pull Luocha, who will probably rerun on my day's banner. Probably. Like, that's probably a good second option. I actually heard the 4-star might be better than Luocha with my day, so. Exactly, Draco. If Lingshaw wasn't that cute, I'd still have no 5-star sustains. I mean, that's understandable. The only reason I pulled Ling Shaw was for the break team, and I ended up never going for the break team. It's like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lucky pull that I got Ling Shaw. If it weren't for the break team, or thinking I'd get the break team down the line, I would have never pulled her at all. I don't think anyone should pull Luo Chayuri. I think it's like such a shitty pull. Like, it's just obvious bait, especially with like Hyacine releasing at some point down the line. Like, Lingshaw and Hyacine is probably just a way better option than fucking getting Luocha. Like, Luocha is literally like such a niche pull only for people who maybe want to make their My Day team stronger. Like that's basically it. Yeah. Pull Luocha because he's cool. I don't even consider Luocha cool in the slightest. When I think of cool, I think of like Boot Hill, Brant, My Day, like kinda Jingyuan, Blade. I don't think of Luocha. Yeah, Pro. I already said this before. Um, Community tab on my YouTube channel. I mentioned that Sparkle is probably going to be one of, if not like the worst possible harmony choice for like an action advancer, because the only 50% AA is gonna be significantly fucking worse. Like even Remembrance MC, when that fucking mem, like when mem is oh, I forget, like at some point, like you do something, you have to reach like a certain threshold, and I'm pretty sure mem gives 100% action advance. So even Remembrance MC gives a better action advance than Sparkle. And for like with Remembrance DPS's, Remembrance MC is just better than Sparkle. No, same Yuri. I have four. the the only limited sustain I'm missing is Luocha. I have Lingsha, Wo, Aventurine, and what's it called? Fushuan. Like I have four of the five limited sustains in the game. Yeah, Vudana. I feel like a lot of people haven't gotten use out of their Luocha these days. Do you think Rappa will be okay? I think Rappa will be fine. Technically, out of all the break DPSs, she'll probably benefit the most, especially if you have Fugue, because most of the endgame content is going to become more AoE focused. Like, Rappa will probably be completely fine. No, exactly, Draco. Like, this is what some people brought up to me, but I was like, even outside of just like action advancing like a DPS themselves, 100% AA or using like 100% AA on like what's it called? Like your Robin or your Sunday to like get them up and get their ults off or a skill off earlier is just way better than Sparkle's 50%. And some people may be like, "Oh, but skill points." But the issue is like Sunday is at worst skill point neutral, and I'm pretty sure Remembrance MC doesn't use all that many skill points either. So you have two at minimum like skill point neutral teammates plus the DPS like sustain is definitely probably also going to be skill point neutral or positive. Like you have no need for skill points at all. It's not a necessity in the slightest. I wonder how my voice sounds like this. Hello, hello, Abby. Yeah, it'll favor my day. My day will probably be the strongest DPS for a patch, and then Castress will drop, and she'll be the strongest DPS, and then Phanon will drop, and he'll be the strongest DPS, and it keeps going. I think strongest DPS these days just holds zero fucking meaning. I'm not gonna lie, like like it just holds zero meaning anymore. There's no point in calling someone like the strongest DPS at this point in the game. It's just every single patch there's a new one. That's understandable, Yuri. Does that mean you're gonna go for a Noxa, Yuri? Are you gonna go for a Noxa on Castrus's like 3.2 patch? Because Anoxa's the second side, and I think Anoxa will probably be a better replacement for like Pela and an Acheron sustain team. But if you have E2, never mind. I guess I don't know if you have E2, but with E2, I don't think Anoxa's necessary. Dot will come back. I mean, maybe. Probably not soon though. Like The earliest would be like late 3.x probably, and that's it. I wouldn't be surprised, Blad, but I don't know. Like, even if she is SP negative, so are like most DPSs in this game. Like, the only reason you'd ever have to use Sparkle is if, like, she was so SP negative to the point where you'd run like a Sunday Sparkle combo together, like Dill levels. But all the leakers have said that that's likely not going to be the case and that Sparkle's going to suck. So, it should be fine if you have like two skill point positive units on your team, which are Remembrance, MC, and the Sustain. And then Sunday skill point neutral. Who Noxa jury? Let me see if I can find it. And I opened the wrong thing, of course. So Anoxa will have action delay on his ults, and he has an X% base chance to afflict a dot called Migo. And it says the Migo is a control type debuff, and that targets affected by it will take additional damage scaling off of Anoxa's attack. So, yeah. Delays action, inflicts Migo, which is probably going to be some type of dot, and that dot allows them to take more damage depending on Anoxa's percentage attack. And then obviously Anoxa does some attack themselves. And then the talent, this is why they called Anoxa better Silver Wolf. Whenever Anoxa deals damage with his ultimate, applies a random weakness to enemies. And each instance of damage applies a different weakness. That's why people are saying it's better than Silver Wolf. Doesn't have to rely on the ult for it. It's on the Honkai Star Rail Leaks Reddit. So you can just like go to Google or anything, just put in Honkai Star Rail Leaks Anoxa, and like the Reddit should probably show up, like the Reddit post. I know Leorius. They got rid of Triby's action advance like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm aware. Unless you're unless someone's in the chat talking about it and you're telling them. Yeah, I have, Sen. I have. No, Anoxa, from the sounds of it, and what the leakers are saying, is that Anoxa does have like a type of dot in their kit, but Anoxa is more of like a sub DPS support that works with any crit DPS in the game. Like, it's not like, oh, Acheron instantly, like best in slot for Acheron. Like, no, it's probably like a very flexible sub DPS support option for any crit DPS in the game. How you doing? I'm doing good, Yakov. How about you? I keep forgetting you can't fly here. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Leo. I think Break needs an action advancer more than Nihility does. Like, that's just my opinion. Because, like, you can use a Robin on a dot team. If you have, like, E2 Acheron, you can also use like a Robin or Sunday. I've seen people still, right? Like still, they'll ignore the like extra nihility that you need for Acheron under E2 and still run Sunday and Robin and perform better that way. While in Break, like a Break doesn't have a single fucking action advancer. The only one that can be action advanced is Boot Hill because he's a crit break hybrid. Break needs it way more than Nihility characters. Like I've said it before, but like a big reason why you'll always see E2 Firefly needed for a lot of fucking zero cycles or for her to perform like on the level of the other two consistently is because she doesn't have an action advancer. Like the only reason Boot Hill is up there with Firefly, like even in contention, is because of him being able to use Bronya on Sunday. If you remove an action advancer from Boot Hill's comp, he's just worse than Firefly. But obviously, that's like part of his kit, so it's like you can't be like, oh, if he didn't have an action advancer, he'd be way worse than Firefly, because that's just how he was built. It's the same with like Acheron and Jiaoqiu. Like, oh, without Jiaoqiu, like this and that, and like. Yeah, but that's just still nowhere near as good. Like, at all. Like, Harmony MC has to trigger DDD like 3 times to make up for one Bronya skill on Abu Hill. And a Bronya at high speed is going to take like 3, and for a lot of people, 4 turns in one cycle. Like, that is just way more valuable. Not to mention, DDD in break teams, like I'm not gonna lie, it can actually like cuck you at times because you get rid of Ruan May's skill up time like faster. Like it's usually only the DPS that ever does anything significant in a break team at all, and it's usually just it only matters to action advance them because they can do the most of the break toughness bar damage. What's DDD? It's Dance Dance Dance. It's a Lycone in Honkai Star Rail. And if you have it at, I think, S5, every time, like, if a character using DDD does their ult, you get, like, 25% action advance for everyone on your team. I mean, not really, Tiago. I don't think Boot Hill has any action advance in his kit. And Firefly's so-called action advance, the only reason she has action advance is because her ult literally does nothing. So you do the ult does nothing, and it just action advances her so she can actually start using her enhanced skill. Like Boot Hill can do damage with both the ult and the skill. Like Rappa is the only one who I think like doesn't she get like 50% action advance on something, or is that just her Lycone? I think it might be her Lycone. Yeah, but it's almost impossible to get Dance 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 copies because the last time they ran was 2024 February, which was like 11 months ago at the beginning of Pentagony. So that's why most people don't have Dance 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 and complain when people like use it in like showcase runs. Like if you started the game a year ago, you don't have it at all. And in the first place, it's a gacha Lycone, so getting it to like S5 is genuinely like very hard. Like that's harder than getting a limited Lycone. I see, Jerry. I see. Thank you. Yeah, they're rerunning it in 3.0. Finally, after a year. If Firefly got an action advanced support where she could use it like similar to Boot Hill, she'd easily be on the level, or like I'd say Firefly would be the strongest. Like the strongest break DPS period if there was someone on her team that could give her action advance. It's like her one glaring weakness. Like you might think Rappa, but Rappa would be going through her energy way too quick, and her ult uptime would become fucked up if you kept action advancing her. I mean, she'd still probably benefit from it anyways, but no, I know E2 kicks. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm explaining that the reason why E2 Firefly is like such a big difference in being able to like clear very fast is literally only because she doesn't have an action advancer. If she had an action advancer like Boo Hill or Sunday with or sorry, Bronya or Sunday with Boo Hill, she'd be able to get the exact same zero cycles that he can. No, Fuga 100% made break better. Yeah. I mean, then again, like, I know this is like kind of hindsight in a way, right? But if we're all being honest, Firefly currently, or like any break team currently with Fugue, is not as strong as they used to be against enemies when they first released without Fugue, which is kind of sad. Like, I know like the FOMO catches up and people just see the bigger damage numbers and faster cycle clears, but like back when like Boot Hill and Firefly and like Rappa released without Fugue, they honestly did better without her because the enemies were easier back then. Like it sucks genuinely thinking about it that way. Nice Yuri. Bronya with Firefly. uh, Crit Firefly, man. I've seen a few video, like, cursed video showcases of Crit Firefly. What's the worst limited light cone? Um, Aglaya's. Because literally no one else in the game can use it currently. That's probably it. Black Swans, only one that got power crept. Yeah, but at least you can use your Black Swan's light cone on multiple like Nihility characters. You can probably use like a Black Swan one on Jiaoqiu, and it's probably like a decent option. Like Aglaya's you can't use on anyone in the game currently. Yeah, like Black Swan's light cone is still fine. Like yeah, Jiaoqiu's is better, but that doesn't make it like the worst. It's like saying the worst limited, or it's like saying the worst limited in the game is Sparkle because she got completely power crept by what's it called, Sunday. Like nah, there's still a lot worse options. Silverwolf's light cone? I guess yeah, kinda, because now you can use now you can just use her event light cone. Isn't the event light cone in like the shop now? Like you can genuinely just get it. Well, yeah, she's the worst limited harmony pull value wise, but she's not the worst limited in general. Like that's the difference. So you can say like Basically, the conversion of this to Black Swan's Lycone would be she has the worst Nihility limited Lycone. But like that, it doesn't even apply the same to Lycones as it does to characters. Because as someone just mentioned, like Silverwolf, I'm pretty sure Silverwolf is also Nihility. We love the Sparkle slander. I mean, we're just being honest. Yeah, God, the stream's going well. The stream's going good. It's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream, 100%. I didn't even realize I somehow already hit that 1 hour mark. I'll probably end stream soon because there isn't really much to talk about. But yeah, I did see Castrus's trailer. It is pretty exciting. No, that would just be a waste, yak off. Like it doesn't matter even if the jades are like an absolutely egregious amount. I'd still like never fucking just waste them on a character I'll never use in the first place. Yeah, like even with 300k jades, I'd rather get like an E2 S1 Sunday than like an E6 S5 Sparkle. And the same goes for Robin. I'm good, Zen. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want an E6 S5 Sparkle. Yeah, COD. I mean, once again, like, Castorus is just very obviously the big anniversary DPS drop similar to Acheron. So they just want to keep putting out teasers for her and teasing her so that people keep being hyped up and excited and waiting for her. Like it's just FOMO all over again. Just gotta wait, what, 2 patches? Yeah, nearly 2 patches exactly now until Castorus releases. Wait, no, three. No, two. I'm stupid. Two. Oh yeah, she's 100%. Like I mentioned this before, but like anniversary drop, S plus. Akron was like S plus. Like she's just gonna be the new standard. The same way everyone now is like, oh, is Facial Acheron tier? Is the Herda Acheron tier? Is this character the Acheron tier? It's now probably gonna be like, is this character Castrus tier? Like that. Like there's gonna be a significant difference between the two. Acheron tier is not even gonna really mean anything anymore. I mean, in the first place, towards the end of 2.x, Acheron tier has like fully fucking lost its meaning. Like there are so many DPSs who are Acheron tier at this point. Bullets. Um, I think it'd be Jing Yuan or Boot Hill. It'd be one of the two. I think Boot Hill will for sure be way more fun to play than Jing Yuan, but I do like Jing Yuan's like overall design a little more than Boot Hill. But if it was like playing in game, I think I'd for sure go for Boot Hill. Yeah, Jury, yeah. Like the same way, like I've said this a million times at this point, Jesus. Like I say it every day, right? But Like Acheron to Firefly, there's a 2 patch difference between those two. However, they were both around the same tier of power level, right? Castris and Phanon lines up perfectly for that. So Phanon and Castris are just going to be Acheron and Firefly all over again. Oh, do these rocks respawn? I've done this before. I guess the rocks respawn. And you get free credits from them. Yeah, Vudana? Yeah, I agree. Like a lot of people were asking me why like if I had to choose between E0 S1 Castris or E0 S1 Sunday, why I chose Sunday over Castris. Because let's all be honest, like Castris's Eidolons and Lycone will probably be an overall bigger damage increase for her own comp. But like Sunday is just gonna last me way longer. Like what if I get sick of Castris and then I want to go for Phanon? And then Phanon ends up wanting Sunday as well. Or a future Remembrance DPS wants Sunday as well. Or a future Hypercarry DPS wants Sunday as well. Like, I get way more value out of investing in a Sunday than I do get out of investing in, like, a Castris. I'm not saying E2 Sunday. I'm saying E0 S1 Sunday. And even, like, E1 S1 Sunday. Sunday's E2 is, like... Okay, this is just my opinion, right? But it's kind of useless. Like, it's just more skill point regeneration. But with the Lycone, he already has way more than enough SP regeneration. Like, the only reason you'd ever get his E2 is if there's legit, like, another Dill. Like, that'd be the only reason. I mean, eventually, Eden. I don't think it'll be soon, but eventually. I'm not sure about his Eidolon Draco, but I know his E1 is just bonkers. Like, I know his E1 is really broken. Like, his E1 specifically, at least, is, like, incredibly strong. Especially for summon DPSs. Oh, yeah, 100% Vega Star. I think an E1 S1 Sunday is going to be, like, the most value you can get in, like, a Castris team. Because you're giving the Dragon 40% defense shred outside of like Sunday's buffs and the Lycone. Hey, I only made one video. Chill on me. I only made one video saying to pull for Sunday E1 S1. Only one. The rest of them, I was saying Sunday was a really good pull overall, and that he'd be like E0 S0, good at E0 S0, good at E0 S1. But I made one video saying that it would be a worthwhile investment to have gotten like Sunday currently and then his Lycone on his rerun around Castris's banner. Even back then, I knew he was going to be on fucking Castris's banner. So I was recommending people to wait for his rerun on Castris's banner, get the Lycone, and if you're lucky enough as well, get the Eidolon. You skipped Sunday? Yeah, because I lost a 50-50 on his banner. And I didn't know if he was worth spending a guarantee on, or if I was even going to pull for summon DPS. So instead, I just waited until Castris came around, and I'll just get him on the rerun instead. Yeah, I lost my 50-50 for Sunday. I don't even think I could have gotten Sunday on time if I wanted to, by the way. Because I didn't buy the battle pass until like into Fugue's banner, which gave me the extra 10 pulls, but I just would not have been able to get it before. Got you one Firefly though? Nice. Mr. Pokey would tell you not to lose your 50-50 next time. True. Did you ever get a use out of that sweet, sweet He One Himiko? So I did, Jury, I did. So yesterday I spent a little bit of my Trailblaze power and I got my Himiko slightly better relics. However, she's still like trashly built, right? Like I got her traces a lot higher, but her crit rate is at 30%. Like it's so bad. I have her at 30% crit rate, but I used her in a Herda combo alongside Ling Shaw and I maxed out Pure Fiction quickly first try. So, yeah. Even with completely shitty relics, it was good enough for me to get a good enough score in Pure Fiction. So I did get some use out of the E1 Himiko. They're gonna rerun Sunday for my day because he's imaginary. I I feel like you're trolling. But they'd never rerun someone only 2 patches after release. Three, three is like the minimum I think this game has ever done. But yeah, if you're trolling, yeah, that would be funny. Wait, am I not? Oh shit. Wait, no, I am. Looks at Robin. Yeah, Robin's like the minimum. So Robin released in 2.2, reran in 2.5, and then re-reran in 3.0. So it's 3 patches twice in a row. 100% trolling? Oh, okay. Leaker said that my day needs imagine. Yeah, Luocha should be good for Actually, I don't know. I don't think so. Actually, I think you might want to put Luocha with another sustainer because we got leaks from the leakers like a few days ago or like a week ago around there, and they were saying Luocha wasn't a good enough sustainer for him. Which makes sense. Because he's supposed to hit 25k HP under certain conditions, meaning his HP drain is probably like massive. Bless you, thank you. I don't think rerun. I don't think Ratio will ever get a rerun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think he'll ever get a rerun. Like, even back when leakers were saying Ratio is gonna come around, you had YouTubers speculating, saying that Ratio, like, he's due for a rerun. I don't think he's ever gonna rerun. It's gonna be another Seal situation. Too many people in the game own him, meaning they can't make enough money off of running him, so they're not gonna bother. And by the time, like, maybe 50% of the game's population doesn't have a doctor ratio, that's probably going to be by the 4.x patches, and they'd have literally zero reason to rerun him. Like, he'd be so bad of a DPS by that point that they would genuinely, like, not earn much. Yeah, but it wouldn't be enough, Draco. Like, it wouldn't be anywhere near enough. Like, it might be one of their worst selling banners ever if they rerun Ratio. You can't even say for, like, Fei Xiao either, because Fei Xiao can you like Fei Xiao's rerunning in 3.0 with her Lycone. No, that's true, Codfish. We just have to see, like, if it's genuinely, like, any type of significant, and if that technique lasts the entirety of the time. Because that's my day's technique, right? Most techniques disappear after like 2 or 3 turns at max. So it's like Luocha would be healing him for like 3 turns with the healing bonus, and then it's possible it could just disappear. When are the Fate banners? Late 3.x, around there. It should be around late 3.x. I don't think it'll be the same. Like, I don't think Doctor Ratio can get like a massive buff like how Jing Yuan did with Sunday. Because Jing Yuan's case is entirely different. Like, they gave Jing Yuan a summon like way, way, way before like this whole summon meta came out. Like, he was an incredibly niche unit, right? It's like HP scalers, right? Like, HP scalers could get an HP support. Summons ended up getting a summon support, but like old ratio doesn't have any like special mechanic. Like, he doesn't have anything like that. You just add debuffs, which a lot of characters in the game can already do, and you just hit, and that's literally it. Like, he doesn't exactly have like much of a niche mechanic at all. Yeah, but a Nox is like an everyone support, not just a ratio support. It's like it's like saying like Robin is a face Shao support when Robin is in like 90% of the teams in this game, right? Not to mention some of the new DPSs also want to use Robin. What new character? That's honestly why I'm bummed about crit DPSs. What new character could they sell to buff Seal, Jingliu, etc.? I I think they're just gonna fall off. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think they're just gonna fall off at this point. I think there's a cap, like a limit that one can reach with how broken they make certain supports, and it's just gonna start like going down, right? Like, harmonies, newer harmonies will probably continue to be stronger, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to make up for the difference in damage that the older DPSs are doing. Like, not even close. Like, if you compare an E0 S0 Blade in his optimal team to an E0 S0 Aggron in her optimal team and how much damage they do, like, the damage difference between a 1.x DPS and a 2.x DPS in of itself is fucking massive. So then you add 3.x DPSs on top of it. Like, at some point, supports just aren't going to be able to keep old DPSs relevant anymore. At some point, it just, you can't do it. True damage will break the meta. I mean, they're probably going to pull another Fugue where Remembrance MC won't be replaced until like late in the 3.x patches, probably by like a new Harmony or Remembrance that can give true damage. Like, it's gonna be a long time before we get a Remembrance MC like replacement that's limited. No, yeah, this game has some of the worst case. I mean, I don't like saying power creep, by the way. Like I myself, like I'm fully aware of power creep, right? However, in reality, like the big overall like wall to overcome isn't even the power creep. It's just the mob inflation. Like the mob HP inflation is like 90% of the issue, while the power creep is 10%. Actually, no. I should rephrase it. I think 50% of the issue is HP inflation. Like 10% is what's it called? Um, 10% is power creep. And then 40% is the MOC just changing whoever the fuck it favors whenever it feels like it. Because if you can say, anyone can say, right? And no one's blind here. Fei Shao 100% power creeps any 1.x DPS out of the water. But there's a lot of old 1.x DPSs performing as good, if not better, than a Fei Shao in the current MOC because of the MOC not favoring her. So you get fucked by the RNG of the MOC buffs that there is, like, whenever a new MOC comes out. And then as well the HP inflation. And then there's like a little dip in there, triple dipping on the power creep. So new DPSs clear shit faster and easier. Most of my viewers are already aware, Leo. Like, I literally brought it up on stream and I've made 2 videos about it at this point. Like, the Howling Caskets got like a 70% HP increase. Svarog got a 40%. Like, every single elite in general got like a 70 to 80% HP increase. It's not just the boss. Like, I showed them the MOC on Acheron's patch. And on Acheron's patch, like, one of the big bosses that there was to like showcase Acheron's strength was a 800k health Yangqing. And like currently, one elite in the current MOC has more health than a main boss Yangqing on Acheron's MOC. Like, that's how much worse it's gotten. Like, back then, the average health for bosses, like big bosses, was around like 1 million to like 1.3 million. And these days, like, the low 2 millions to 3 millions is the average. Oh. Sorry, Leo. Sorry. Uh, I do agree Mr. Pokey is I don't know why Mr. Pokey is like continuing the rage bait. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it feels like that EO situation all over again, where they could just never like admit when they were wrong. Which ironically, Pokey was like one of the people against EO. So I thought he'd like recognize it a little bit better, but it's literally just another EO situation. Like, it's on different topics, but it's literally the exact same thing. We all know you're the new 3.0 MOC with 5 million health. Nice. I'm the next pandemic boss. Yeah, like I'll never like I'm not gonna lie, right? Some people take this shit too far and they'll start like personally hating on like a content creator's like actual life and like who they are over their takes on the gotcha shit. Like I love Mr. Pokey and I'll watch his content whenever he isn't making anything that's like kind of like drama or clickbaity or like rage baity because he's genuinely entertaining. Like sometimes he is just a little, he is clip farming just a little too much for me. But he's better than a lot of the other gotcha content, or at least the big ones, right? Like he's genuinely entertaining in a form. Oh no, I understand bullets. I understand, yeah. Like MOC is how they like sell characters, but it just does feel scummy, right? Like it feels so scummy. Like for two patches in a row, a character is like number one on top, and then because of how the MOC is structured, a patch later, Fei Xiao isn't even like top three in the current MOC. No, exactly, Yuri. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, they do make a living off this shit, so I can't really understand, like, what goes through their heads when deciding how to make a video, or, like, maybe they just don't really give a shit about what people think about them, but it's just a slightly frustrating for me, right? It's just a personal thing. No, I agree. Like Tectone used to be one of the main like guys because I used to play Genshin. Genshin was my first ever gacha, and Tectone and MTashed were like the two main people I watched when I first got into Genshin. But I am just someone who absolutely despises any type of drama. Like drama is the most useless shit to like. I don't even want to get into it, right? Like drama's just stupid. And especially in these content creator spaces, a lot of people have too big of egos to ever realize when they've made a mistake. Or maybe they realize it, but they'll continue to like argue a point that they don't even believe in anymore because they just want to be right. And it's like, "Oh my goodness." You know what I'm saying? Like we're fully grown up. Most of these content creators are fully like adults. Yet I feel like I'm watching like middle schoolers. Nice, Leo. Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, Jury. Like you can't blame them either, right? Especially Tectone. Tectone's like the gotcha content creator who's made it out of like the gotcha space. Like he's made it out the streets, and like it's just how he's gotten most of his views and how he makes most of his money. Like he basically like acts like the grandfather, like the wise sage of other gotcha content creators. And sometimes he has good takes. Like even on the current power creep issue, like he's been arguing with Mr. Pokey on it for like quite a while. So he's definitely knowledgeable, right? But sometimes it can get a bit excessive, especially when like it starts to become mostly drama content. That's when it's like okay, like I might not want to watch you anymore. But that's just my personal preference. There's a lot of people out there who eat up drama. I know it because, like, in my family, the only TV shows they can watch are soap operas because they absolutely love the dramatic scenes. So I know there are people out there who just absolutely eat it up. I'm not gonna lie, whenever I watch any content creator poll, I hope they lose the 50-50. Like, I'm a bit evil in that way. Like, I just hope any content creator I watch loses a 50-50 because it'd be funny to me. Maybe that's why I have such bad karma and why I always lose 50-50s, but it's just hilarious seeing someone like it's just hilarious seeing someone lose. Like every once in a while, like I barely watch like streams myself, right? But I'll go on Twitch and there's a few content creators I used to watch who will occasionally like go on gambling sites and I just watch them hoping they lose all their money. Like if they don't and they make money, it's like cool, yeah, that's cool as well. But I'm mostly just there to watch them lose all their money in despair. That's about it. Like I once saw a guy sell his $7,000 couch, like a genuine content creator, and then lose it all after gambling in on blackjack. And I couldn't stop fucking laughing. Did you see the Caster's Dragon in action? Yeah, I did. Looks like very, very good. I really can't wait until Caster's. However, currently what I'm most curious about once again is My Day's animations because My Day's animations haven't been leaked yet, but Caster's looks phenomenal. Yeah, Leo. Gotta thank Techie for the Homa incident for the fate point thingies. Yeah, like when I first watched that video of Tectone losing like thousands of dollars on staff of Homas, I was laughing my ass off. Like I know I shouldn't be. Like that's not something you should laugh your ass off for, but in the end of the day, right? The video he made on that made him all the money back and more. And it did bring like overall awareness, but purely entertainment wise, that shit was fucking hilarious. Like that shit was like it was so egregious that it was hilarious. Yeah, Leo, yeah. Like Tectone is literally the reason why they fixed the weapon banner in Genshin. No, it was Tectone. Tectone lost over and over and over and over again to was it Wolf's gravestones like over and over again? Yeah, Jury, that's the worst part, right? Like that's a content creator who just happened to be recording it. But like especially back then, like a lot less people just recorded gameplay and polls. Like not a lot of people were trying to be gacha content creators back then. It's a lot more common now, but back then it wasn't. Like you can imagine like a lot of people got royally fucked the exact same way. It just happened that it happened to Tectone on stream and he's a content creator with enough pull to have made a change. Hello Gabby, hello Abby. No, it's the same for me, Eden. Yeah, even though I'm like a hate watcher for polls, I feel like almost every streamer I watch gets incredibly lucky, or even just content creator in general. Like they win most of their 50-50s, they win most of their 75-25s. Quite often they'll pull like an early 5 star. I'm not gonna lie, it makes me a little jealous, you know? It makes me, just slightly jealous. Like I'm pretty sure that there was a time in HSR when Tectone had like 6 50-50 wins in a row. Like I remember like it was around like 1.6 or 2.0, but Tectone was like completely free to play in HSR and he had like 6 or 7 50-50 wins in a row on his belt. Also M Tashed. I think M Tashed Like that guy was even luckier than Tectone. Like I've genuinely never seen anyone like multiple accounts, right? Like I'm talking multiple accounts. This guy almost always gets a 5-star early and wins the 50-50. I don't know if he still makes content on HSR and stuff or if it, like if he still plays the game. But it did seem like he was really like down in the dumps whenever he wouldn't get lucky because he was so used to being lucky that when he wasn't lucky it felt way way worse. Nice, Jay. Oh, he got E2 seal. Damn. Would you go bald in exchange for 50-50 and 75-25 not existing anymore? Hell yeah. My hair grows back fast. It only takes like 2 or 3 weeks. I'd 100% do that. Canadian tech tone. uh, gonna start having to make drama bait videos. Since Herda's better than Akron, is she a must summon? No. There isn't a single must summon in the game currently. I don't care what anyone says, not Robin, not no one. No one in this game is technically a must summon. There's way too many like different niche comps in the game currently. Like there's a lot of comps where you like wouldn't even use a Robin, like Break or Acheron, or like the upcoming HP scalers and Remembrance DPSs as well. There's only must summons for a comp that you've already decided you're gonna go for. So if you're deciding to go for like an HP, like the HP scalers, Ling Sha is probably like the number one. I mean, even for the Herda, Ling Sha is the best possible sustain as well. Tectone was the biggest HSR glazer back then. I mean, I was too. I'm not gonna lie. So I feel like me and Tectone are kind of like similar in this way. Like Tectone, I think most of the time can be like completely honest about his opinions on things. Like he doesn't blindly glaze a game, especially after he's experienced a game which is better or at least feels better to him, right? Like for example, I used to be completely fine playing Genshin Impact all the time, and I thought that was like the peak of all gacha games. But then I got into what's it called, HSR, and then I realized, wait, HSR is a lot more time convenient, has significantly better quality of life, and the animations and characters look significantly better. So then I went to glazing HSR, and then Wuwa came out, and then Wuwa felt even better for me outside of the time convenience, right? At this time, when I was playing Wuwa, time convenience didn't really matter for me. I had a lot of time on my hands. So Wuwa felt the absolute best, and I glazed Wuwa the most. Like, I think Tectone is literally the exact same. He's gone through the exact same cycle as I have. He went from Genshin to Honkai Star Rail to Wuwa. He admitted it. He just liked Tectone. I do think Tectone is like one of the few who just doesn't give a shit about voicing his opinions. Like it's genuinely nice. That's like one of the things I respect about him the most. Like he's not afraid to say it. Like I've seen so many people trying to assume that like he's maybe on like a Kuro contract because sometimes he glazes Wuwa a little too much, but I truly just don't think he is. And even before he ever got a contract for Wuwa, he was absolutely glazing the shit out of that game, even if he currently does have one. Why do you want me to go bald so bad? Nah, I wouldn't go bald at 100k subs. Yeah, Vudana. I think it's just like at the beginning of the game, you could have never guessed how bad the power creep would get, right? Like, there's a much better feeling, like, right? Like, I hate Genshin. I genuinely hate Genshin. I can't play that fucking game. But, right? There's genuinely a good feeling when you pull a character you really like and you clear the end game and you're genuinely like able to take a break from the game, whether it be for life reasons or maybe you're burnt out or whatever, come back like months or even years later and still clear the end game with the exact same team you used to have. Like the characters you still love, the characters that were the reason you even got into the game in the first place, they're still usable in every piece of content in the game. Like you cannot get that feeling in HSR, right? Like I think a major flaw that if Pokey was being serious about, like when it was mentioned, like you could get 8 limited characters total if you played from the beginning of the game to the current day. Like this assumes you literally never took a break from the game, played every single day, maxed out your dailies every day for every patch for like nearly 2 years straight. Like that is most people in the game that doesn't apply to. And as well, I feel like a majority of the player base in Honkai Star Rail currently, or at least like a very good amount, actually started playing in Pentagony and not 1.0. So there's that as well. Like a lot of people started playing because of Pentagony. Like Pentagony was really hyped on social media, and I know a lot of people got into the game from that, like including my friend and me. So if you started in Pentagony, it goes from 8 pulls to 4 limiteds since playing the game. Of course, that's the worst case scenario. Most people would have around like 6 limiteds, I feel like, maybe a little more. But still, like 6 limiteds isn't even enough for like 2 comps. It's not even enough for like 2 premium comps. Like you spend 2 limiteds on sustains, so you have 4 left to make your comps. I guess you go like Acheron, Adventure. No, I already excluded the sustain. So Acheron, Zhao Q, and then Firefly Ruan Mei probably. That would be like the 2 comps, right? But Firefly without Fugue and Acheron without her light cone is performing way worse. They'll still clear the endgame content just fine, but the thing is, Acheron and Firefly are probably going to start showing their age in 3.x. Oh, really, Yuri? That's a really good thing. I didn't even know about that. No, I know bullets. That's like the worst case scenario. I don't think your pity is average if you've gotten 10 limited since 2.0, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that's I don't think that's average. Yeah, that's for sure not average. You're getting more than one 5-star character every single patch since 2.0 if you gotten 10 limiteds. There's no way it's 80. Does that add up? You would have had to lose like no 50/50s. Like even my friend's account, which is from 1.0, I don't think has like that much over 10 limiteds. It might have like 12 or 13, and that's like a 1.0 account. Actually, I'm curious. Let me get off Wuwa real quick. Sorry, guys. I'm actually curious how many limiteds my account has, considering it's 1.0. Although this is a light spender account, so it's completely different as well. I think I can run Honkai Star Rail and Wuwa at the exact same time, so I don't actually have to get rid of Wuwa here. I'm probably just gonna see how many limiteds I've gotten since 1.x. When I started, I got around 350 pulls for free. Jesus, is that much? Do you think 3.x will make HSR hype again? I do think so, yeah. In terms of like story and shit, I'm not gonna lie. Ever since Pentagony, like the story thing ended, like it's been pretty boring. So story wise, yeah, and as well as like character design wise. Okay, let's see. So keep in mind, I am a light spender, and I'm pretty sure my friend also spent money on this game because he has multiple E1S1s. However, from two, I want to actually calculate like how many 5 stars did I get. So I started in 2.5 and we're about to go in 3.0. And the 5 stars I was able to get was Ling Sha, Aventurine, and I wasn't able to get anyone in 2.7. So in 3 patches, I was only able to get 2 limiteds, and I could have gotten 3 if I went for Fugue. So that's 1 limited a patch. I would not be able to keep up with your luck of 10 limiteds at all, even as a light spender. Light spenders, by the way, if you get the Express Pass, they get around 27 more pulls on average than a free to play. And if they get the Battle Pass, it turns into like 35 or 36 more pulls than a free to play. How many of those have Eidolons? Every single character with Eidolons or a Lycone here is my friend's doing. So Fei Xiao with Ratio Lycone, that's my friend. He probably ended up spending money, if I had to guess. Ruan Mei, E1S1 probably spent money. Acheron, E1S1 probably spent money and couldn't get the E2. Unfortunate. Kafka has her Lycone. Seal, nope. Fushuan, nope. Branya, nope. Yeah, that's it, basically, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. At max, all like E1S1 is the max for like some characters on here. But I'm pretty sure my friend dropped money for those, so that's not free to play. Oh wait, I'm not even fuck. Jeez, I'm stupid. Wait, is it not showing? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so here. Ruan Mei is E1S1 and Agron is E1S1. And I think that's the only E1s on like his entire account. Yeah, that's it. And then like 1 limited Lycone on Kafka. I hope my luck is better for 3.x. I want to get just slightly lucky on like Castrus's banner. I don't even mind going to like soft pity every time. I just want to win every single 50-50. So that I could get like an E0 S1 Sunday or E1 S1 Sunday with Castrus. Because I really want to get, if possible, E1 S1 Sunday. Like that would be the best possible case scenario. But I'm only going to have like 250 pulls by Castrus's banner or something like that. Maybe a little more, but Divergent Universe resets at the end of 3.0. Yeah, I think it does, yeah. Jesus, man, you guys have been lucky as shit. 10 limiteds, 11 limiteds. I can't even keep up with that. I mean, I guess a new player starting in 2.x would get more limiteds than like a 1.x player in 2.x. Because a new player has way more access to Jades, but Oh, nice, Fudana. I'm not sure, Bullets. No, I haven't, Clifford. I haven't. I don't think I've played a single From Software game. I mostly do it because, like, my entire life, I've kind of been accustomed to playing free games that have, like, a long longevity, right? Like, it's basically built into my system to be stingy when I spend money on games. So dropping, like, 60 or 70 bucks to play a game for, like, one day and then finish it isn't something I can usually justify for myself. Reasonable, yeah, that's like the only reason. Like, genuinely, I'm confident like a lot of those From Software games, like I see Elden Ring, like Sekiro, like some people have been hyping up Bloodborne. Like a lot of those games look like genuine fun. It's just that I don't want to spend like a significant amount of money on a game I'll finish within a day. I will never play League of Legends. That is a line that must never be crossed. Oh wait, I should probably turn off Honkai Star Rails. The audio is bleeding into Wuwa. I just torrent those games. I don't want to ever torrent anything because I feel like I'm just too stupid for it. And in the first place, I don't really care about those. Like, I'm already struggling enough keeping up with like two gotchas a day. Like, I don't want to add any more games onto my roster of playing video games currently. I am an incredibly lazy gamer. Add Genshin. uh, do you think 130 pulls, 10 pity, not guaranteed? I'm able to get Castris E2 S1 if I skip all banners. Uh, I don't know. You'd probably have to win every single 50-50 or get like one or two earlies if I had to guess. Because I think you could probably get 320 pulls around there by what's it called? 320 to like 340. No, but yeah, but the issue is bullets. Like if he loses a single 50-50, it goes to shit. Like having to pull 3 copies in a row is usually like like it almost never ends well. You need to win 3 50-50s in a row if you go at normal pity, or if you pull at like normal pity. Me personally, I am incredible. I have the 50-50 curse and the 75-25 curse. So I'm like incredibly cautious because I'm pretty much aware that I'll almost always lose a 50-50 or 75-25. So I account pulls for that usually. But if you have some decent streak of like 50-50 luck, I think you should be fine. Or even like getting characters early or something like that as well. Like I always go to pity. Yeah, it's pretty doable. You just have to get like a little above average luck. Herda's gonna rerun on the Tribby banner. Oh my goodness. I watched Pokey's video, like that hour and a half video, and I skipped to the polls section. And according to like the website he was on, the average pity that most people get a 5 star at is like 78. It's around like 78 pity. Because soft pity starts at like 73 in Honkai Star Rail. But even then, it's like not that much of an increased chance. So 78 was like apparently the average. Took me 330 pulls to get Acheron E2S1 on her release. Yeah. It can be difficult getting an E2S1, man. E1S1 is a lot more doable, or like E0S1, but E2S1, like, I'd say 100% go for it though. Unless you don't have Sunday. I think like a Sunday Lycone or a Sunday like would be a way better pull. Or even his E1. His E1 is a 40% defense shred for summon DPSs. I mean, we can't really say that, Sugar. Like, we don't know how good what's it called, Castrus's Lycone will end up being with her. Like, it could be another what's it called. It could be another situation like Acheron with Castrus, where like the Lycone just adds like a massive quality of life. No, it isn't weird at all, Claustro. It isn't weird in the slightest. Especially with them saying, okay, so I genuinely think Koyo pulled a bit of a bait and switch here. So I feel like a lot of people pulled for Venturine after the leaker said we weren't gonna get any new preservation units in 3.x. But I don't think any of us realized what that truly meant, which is that every single new DPS in 3.x would use an abundance instead of a preservation. Like so far, that's looking like what's gonna happen. Like every single 3.x character wants an abundance instead of a preservation on their team. Oh, you only have Sunday E0S0? There's a decent chance Sunday will rerun on Castrus's banner. So if possible, like I guess if you get incredibly lucky, you could also get the Lycone and E2S1, but that's like that's really really levels, like high levels of lucky. I think E0S1 Sunday or E1S1 Sunday is more important than Eidolons or Lycone on Castrus herself. Oh yeah, Yuri, yeah. Unless we get like more Herdas, where like hitting mobs on field regenerates energy for them, because then it's Lingshaw. But yeah, Woho is really good for the energy. But I think the second Hyacine releases, she'll easily be like the undisputed champion probably of sustains. Like the second she releases. It'll probably happen then. Yeah, Jinshi's still really good, Yakov. Jinshi is still the strongest like DPS in the game, I'm pretty sure. Like she's still like top 1, and even at worst, she's tied with like Carlotta and Camellia, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Jinshi is still a very good like pick for pulling for. It's been 2 hours. I'm gonna go. Thanks. See you later, Yuri. Thanks for stopping by. It was nice having you here. Yeah, that's probably like the best path to go down, Sugar. How is Lingshaw outside of break teams, by the way? Goated. Ling Shaw's like the most universal sustained in the entirety of the game. Like in break teams, that's where she shines the most, but even in other teams, like she can apply debuff on ult for Acheron. She can do follow-ups for Fei Xiao on the follow-up team. And then just in general, she's just incredibly good sustainer. Like she works in every single team in the game. Yeah, Jinshi's like really easy to play, I'm not gonna lie. Like Jinshi's very, very easy to play. Like I don't want to make the comparison, but it's like Firefly HSR levels. Like you just spam the basic attack. Oh, you see that yellow E? You press the E. You then spam the basic attack again. Oh my god, it's glowing again. E, bam. Of course, you have to do a rotation before this, but it's like, it's so much easier than anything else. Oh, of course, I forgot you have to use this echo right before you do it. I think that's most characters besides Chang Li. Uh, maybe. I still feel like Jin Cheese is the most brain dead though. I think especially the fact that she like hits you mid-air. Like a lot of enemies usually hit at like the ground level. But because she starts to go up after this, like right here, you can dodge so many attacks incredibly easily. So it's very hard to like interrupt her when she's in the middle of attacking. So if you have Link Shaw in that rumored 4-star abundance, or maybe the 5-star, you'll be good for, yeah, Grizzly, probably, yeah. Like, I do think the two GOAT sustains of 3.x will end up being Ling Shaw and Hyacinth. That's probably the two. And then Huo Huo will be, like, right behind, maybe. Or Huo Huo could be on the same tier as Ling Shaw, if not better. Who knows? But I do think it will be Undisputed Hyacinth. That new 4-star abundance has some potential, especially with them saying that it'll be the best in slot sustain for My Day, even over Luocha. That should imply that his healing ability is better than Luocha, probably, as a 4-star. Yeah, salty, that too. I mean, yeah, you for sure are more. However, the leakers did say that that 4-star sustain coming out would be better than Luocha. So there's that as well. Maybe you run like Luocha and the sustain together or something. Yeah, probably Sinner. Every single leaker has said that we will get a new Don Hung form and a new March 7th form. And that all like their new forms, like they aren't gonna be like 4-star again. Like how March 7th, like her Hunt form is 4-star. They said that both are gonna be limited versions. So like probably later down, like very late 3.x, is when we will get the new forms for Don Hung in March. It'll probably be like one patch, by the way. Like if I had to guess, it'll be like one patch. The first half has like this Don Hung form, and the second one has the March one. Like on the separate phases. Really, Vudona? Yeah. The thing is, I don't think it's even that crazy to say, like, oh, the new 4-star sustain will probably be better than Luocha. Like, that isn't crazy to think of at all. Because, in my opinion, Gallagher is better than Luocha by, like, a lot. If you can, like, sustain your teammates consistently. However, this newer 3-point-X 4-star sustain, like, he should be an upgrade even over Gallagher. So, it's not exactly surprising that he's better than Luocha. Why is Don Hung getting more forms, dog? I mean, it just is what it is, man. Like, Phanon is also coming out, and I'm pretty sure Phanon is from Honkai Impact 3rd. It's the Honkai Impact 3rd curse, man. Getting multiple forms of the exact same character. I mean, they have to do something to release 2 limiteds every single patch, every single time. Sometimes they run out of ideas, probably. Yes, I did cartoon. I did casters. The dragon looks really cool. Not getting E2 Herda anymore. E2 casters it is. Bro, I knew so many people would start switching up the second she got any type of like animation leak. Like once the animations and the drip marketing starts getting to you, it's over, man. Like the same shit happened to me with My Day, the same shit happened to me with Brant. Like I was like, "Oh, I'm not pulling these guys." And they get drip marketed and they get their animations. It's like, "Okay. Okay. Maybe I do go for them." Quantum Don Hung? Nah, he's probably going to be fire. I'm like 99% confident it's going to be like the new form for Don Hung is just going to be fire. Because like in his blacked out thingy, like they blacked out the designs of like the last 3, which included March and Don Hung. Like Don Hung's one, he has fire in his palm. I mean, they're just trying to hype up Castris Clifford. Like they're trying to hype up Castris as much as they can because it's like another Acheron situation for them. Gotta get people hyped, saving for Castris, ready to drop their money on E2S ones like E6S5s. Probably Grizzly. Oh, really, Sugar? I don't think I'll pull for the collab characters. I don't really care about Saber and Archer, I'm not gonna lie. I'm much more interested about characters like in the actual in-game lore than I am about collab characters. But things could change, right? Like maybe my mind will change because they are far into like 3.x. But for now, I don't think that I'd be confident at all in saying like I'd pull them. Don Hung new form power creeping Dill. I mean, technically, my day is Dill power creep because they're both imaginary destruction limiteds. Yeah, like the Herda can hit really fat damage numbers even at really low cost. Like it's genuinely like a significant amount as well. Like I've been seeing a bit of propaganda here and there of people trying to be like, "Oh, Herda's single target and like few mob damage is ass." But then like these people never wait, like they never get the stacks up correctly, and they'll like preemptively use her ult before there's max stacks, and because of that, they'll end up doing like half the damage than they should. Like all they have to do is basic and use someone to action advance Herda once you get enough stacks up, and she does like double the damage. Like she does insane damage to single target in like few mobs for a pure fiction unit. Like she does more than, actually I probably shouldn't say Firefly because now the break teams have Fugue. But she 100% does more than Acheron to single target. Like it's not even like a question. Yeah, Robin can be used with the Herda. The three main supports you can use with Herda are Remembrance, MC, Robin, and Sunday. Those are like the three harmonies. The three sustains are Ling Sha is undoubtedly number one, but after Ling Sha, it's Aventurine and Huo Huo. And then for eruditions, you can use Small Herda, Serval, or Jade. And then Himiko is like an absolute like last option, basically. No, yeah, Kuroshio. Like the only reason people complain about power creep is because of HP inflation existing. Like if it was another Genshin situation, like Genshin does have HP inflation. I've looked it up myself. But if it's another Genshin situation where like the new DPS kills a boss like 2 seconds faster than the previous one, like people just wouldn't care. Like they wouldn't care in the slightest. It's like, yeah, this character power creeps it, but like the old character I like more is still clearing just fine, so I don't really give a shit, right? But the HP inflation in HSR is significantly faster than Genshin's. Sunday, I'm pretty sure is the best possible harmony for the Herda. I think Robin's the second best, and Remembrance MC's the third. Even then, like Vudana, that for sure will apply to some people, but I'm not gonna lie. Given that the majority of like HSR's player base and like every gacha in general is casual, like people will be more happy steamrolling through content with the characters they love than they would having to like get rid of the characters that they love to pull for meta. Like I genuinely believe that. I hope you get her soon, Clifford. Oh yeah, exactly, Vudana. You literally said it. I didn't read your message, and you said exactly what I said, basically. Yeah, like seeing a new meta DPS do like double the numbers of your old one is satisfying for like a few seconds until you realize you're stuck in an endless loop of pulling for the new best meta DPS that does double the damage of the older one. And it's like an infinite loop, and you realize like you're basically just a guinea pig. That's basically what it comes down to. You're just a guinea pig that's happy with the shiniest new toy over and over and over again, not realizing like what's going on. No, exactly. Correct. I mean, I wouldn't say they would be completely gone. Like I'm pretty sure Genshin guys, like there are people in like the Genshin community I see talking about power creep here and there. But Genshin's level of power creep is mostly just like fear mongering from people who have like grudges against like certain mains in that game, and that's basically it. That's basically it. Yeah. Like you can't even give as much, like even though harmonies are the absolute best path of character to like invest eidolons and light cones into to make older DPSs future proof. Like there's no guarantee that we'll get more Sundays and more Robins that continue to like make older characters stronger again. And if we do get more Sundays and Robins, like they'll probably be stronger than like E1 Robins and E1 Sundays. Like the further down the line we get in the game. So even then, you're not even safe investing in supports either. Like they last longer, but that's it. Like look at Ruan Mei currently. Like you can still get value out of Ruan Mei, but during the beginning of Penacony, everybody considered Ruan Mei the number one must pull in the game, and she genuinely was. She fit in every single team in the game and was the best buffer in the game by far. And ever since then, we've gotten like 4 new limited harmonies. Like, we've gotten like 4 new ones in 2.x. And a lot of them are better than Ruan Mei in a lot of teams. I did see the new Castress animation. Do we need more weakness implant characters? I mean, that's probably what you're going to use Anoxa for. I think that's like a decent purpose Anoxa is like created with. Like if you ever don't have the elemental coverage for like an endgame mode or something, you can genuinely just put like Anoxa on the team and probably get him to put elemental weakness. Yeah, Ruan Mei is best in slot for only break teams these days. Every other team is Robin and Sunday. Or Sparkle. Oh wait, no, Dot as well. No, is Ruan Mei still like number one in Dot? No, Anoxa is 100% not the next must pull. Anoxa isn't really like a Harmony support. They just have some support abilities, and I think they themselves are rumored to be a sub DPS. But he will be very general according to the leakers. Like he'll be a buffer for literally any crit DPS in the entirety of the game. Oh, is it Robin now? No, it is salty. It is. Phanon plus Anoxa might be a thing then? Yeah, possibly. I've seen a few people speculating that Anoxa might be like the best in slot sub DPS on like Phanon's team or something like that. Even though we know absolutely nothing about it, but yeah, I already saw Castrus's animation, Abby. I mean, Kea, it'll probably always come down to like the same situation Sparkle is in currently, where the pull value is abysmal. However, they still like add value to your account if you have them. Like it's basically like that. It'll probably become that for Ruan Mei at some point. Although currently Ruan Mei has more pull value if you are trying to make your break team stronger. But if you're not trying to make your break team stronger, it's like with all these reruns we're getting for Robin and we're close to a rerun with Sunday as well. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Remembrance MC is also better than Ruan Mei on a lot of teams. Sunday's OP? Yeah, I know. I don't think anyone's ever lasted that long though, Ben. I don't think anyone's ever lasted that long though in HSR. Like 10 patches? I think the closest is like Robin currently. But literally like the second 3.x hits, it's genuinely arguable on Sunday versus Robin. Oh, in their niche. Oh, okay. Yeah, Ruan May will probably last a while in her niche. I didn't read that part. In their niche, yeah. Like Ruan May, I don't think they're gonna release like a new break harmony anytime soon, not gonna lie. Especially with like going into remembrance stuff. I agree 100%. I think that might be Zhao Q for the Acheron team as well. Like I can see Zhao Q lasting quite a while for the Acheron team. I mean, I don't understand why people were doom posting Sunday, man. I'm not gonna lie, I have a pretty good track record lately of recommending people like what's a good pull and what's a bad pull. Like I haven't been wrong in quite a while. Like even my sparkle shit, like you can practically call me a prophet for predicting the sparkle power creep at this point. Like no glaze, no glaze. I don't think I've ever told someone like a bad polling decision. At least for at the time when it was uploaded. Because I do remember in like 2.4 or 2.5, I was recommending like if you were a completely new player to either go for I think the options I gave were the break teams. Because we had no knowledge on how good the Herda would have been. If I knew how good the Herda would have been back then for free to plays, I would have said the Herda instead. How long do you think the Herda's meta gonna last? If by meta you mean like Herda being number one, literally one patch, I think my day will probably be stronger than the Herda. But if you're asking like how long she'll last, like top three, top four in meta, and like top one in pure fiction, probably the entirety of 3.x, or the majority of it at very minimum. I think she'll last like a decent while, especially since she has like future supports. She can still use a new best in slot sustain. She can still use a new air edition. She can still use a new harmony, which Triby is gonna be. Like it's just another Akron situation, but the baseline for Herta's power without her best in slot supports is way better than Akron's without her best in slot supports. Like people are comparing the Herta currently, who has no like new best in slot supports, to like Akron E0S1 and her most optimal team, and being like, oh, the Herta is barely fucking better than my Akron, or my Akron is clearing the exact same as the Herta. It's like, who gives it? Like, Akron isn't getting any more teammate support for a while, man. The Herta's like top one in pure fiction. In my opinion, right? E0S0 specifically, she is arguably top four, top three MOC. The only end game where she isn't exactly like special in is APOC, in my opinion. However, that's if the APOC is only like small enemies. Like if you were to ever go against the Bandemic boss again in APOC and it was like Ice Week, like Herta would probably be like top one for that patch. Like Herta's damage numbers when she's able to finally break a boss and like APOC is fucking like, jeez, man. It's so fucking crazy. Oh no, I'm confident they probably will be, Sugar. Like I'm completely confident. Like just look at what they did with Fei Xiao. Fei Xiao released in 2.5. I don't think anyone's arguing the Fei Xiao comp isn't stronger than Acheron in the break comps. Like currently they're better in the current MOC, but like when there wasn't any of this bullshit favoring towards like a certain path of characters, like Fei Xiao comp was just undisputedly the strongest. Like I have no doubt with like the new Don Hung form and March form coming towards the end of 3.x, they'll be stronger than the previous ones. I think she'll get better Ben with Tribby though. I will say like Tribby should help her quite a lot in that regards and like APOC because Tribby will be getting a lot of hits off and as well as like just overall helping her a lot more. But yeah, currently without Tribby, she's like normal in APOC, I'm not gonna lie. Like it's not anything special. Sinner, I I don't think so. So this is just like my personal take, but let's all be honest. I just do not see them adding another endgame mode because I don't think they want to give us that many Jades. Like I know that sounds crazy, and I might have said the same thing before when there was only MOC and Pure Fiction, and then they added APOC, and I would have been wrong. But I genuinely do not see them adding 4 endgames and giving us more free pulls. And if they do, like, we're going to get less overall event pulls to make up for it, probably. Yeah, exactly, Vudana. Like, I think the more endgame modes they make and the more jades they give us from like events or endgame modes, the less jades they're gonna give us from events. Like they just easily like circumvent it. Is Fugue a bait once break falls off? Because I'm seeing no break DPS leaks. Maybe. There could be some break DPSs in like 3.x, but probably like late 3.x maybe. I saw some people theory crafting in my stream a few days ago that Phanon might be a break, but I genuinely doubt it. Because leakers were saying, I mean, it is pretty uncredible because of how far away he is, but leakers were saying Sunday would fit in like Phanon, like Sunday would be best in slot for Phanon. I don't think Fugue's bait if you want to make your break team last longer. I think if you get Fugue, your break team is 100% just going to have a million times of an easier time in the end game. So it's not bait if you want to keep using your break team, but if you only have like a Himiko or some shit, like then it's kind of bait. Like a lot of people are hyping up Himiko Fugue currently because of her performance in Pure Fiction mostly. But the current Pure Fiction has like a 120% damage bonus. So like it's not exactly completely accurate to how good Himiko Fugue will be in the future. Because Pure Fiction's getting nerfed in the next Pure Fiction reset. Or like the grip mechanic with the researching tides is giving 50% damage bonus instead of 120. Well, the problem with Sparkle at the end of the day that would have made her so much more future proof in this game is the 50% action advance. That 50% action advance is worse than a standard character. And on top of this, recently, Hoyo has been adding a lot of quality of life to newer characters to make them skill point friendly, or at least at minimum skill point neutral. So literally no one cares about Sparkle being like incredibly, not even incredibly, she's just SP positive by like 1 SP for every 3 turns. Like no one cares for it. What they care is about action advance and buffs, and like she's the weakest action advancer in the entirety of the game. Like I don't get it. Yeah, if she just had 100% AA, no one would be complaining about her today. Literally no one. Like you'd run her over Bronya in a lot of situations. But the reason so many people will still use Bronya these days is because they have the extra skill points, and the 100% action advance is just better. Yeah, you pull the light cone for the Herda, and skill points become way less of an issue. You also pull the light cone for Sunday. Skill points aren't anywhere near as much of an issue. Actually, they're not like they're not an issue at all. Actually, you're generating more skill points when you get Sunday's light cone. And a lot of sustains these days, unless you're using like the older ones, really don't require, like they're SP neutral basically usually. So you have SP positivity, SP neutrality, and then most supports are SP positive or neutral. Like there's no other deal in this game that consumes like 3 skill points at once. There's no point. Yeah, if they, I'm not gonna lie, I will still stand behind this. If those old leaks of Tribby having action advance, depending on how many mobs you hit on field, like if those were still in her kit, I'd still stand on business and say that that's Robin power creep for a lot of teams. Like I'd 100% still stand on business on that shit. Because giving action advance, depending on how many mobs you hit on field, is absolutely fucking gross in terms of potential. Like, it would be absolutely disgusting. As well as the fact that originally we thought the defense shred damage bonus and res pen would all be buffs for teammates. But, like, then we found out no action advance, no damage bonus or defense shred for teammates either. Her damage numbers are, like, weak. Like, I don't know about My Day being on a caster's team. Like, it's kind of iffy right now. But I don't think it'll work. It's just my opinion. I don't know why, but I just don't have a feeling it's going to work. I'm low-key, like, feels crafting currently. Especially with, like, multiple leakers have said at this point, like, My Day and Castress aren't going to have any synergy together. Plus, if you put Sunday on that team, like, who the fuck are you going to be using the buffs on? If you don't use them on Monday, he's probably... fuck, Monday. If you don't use them on My Day, you're probably going to do significantly less damage, and you're just wasting a support spot for casters. Because both My Day and casters are, like, main damage dealers so far. Like, the leakers are saying My Day will have at least the biggest damage per screenshot in the entirety of the game, which implies he himself is a main DPS, not a sub. And I think we can all agree that Castress, given her animations and her summon, is as well a main DPS. Monday, yes. First Sunday, then we get Monday. That's going to be the Sunday power creep, guys. Or no, that's the Robin power creep right there. Literally no one knows Grizzly. Like, we're so, like, the leakers haven't said anything on My Day's optimal team other than saying that he's just really picky with a sustain. Like, that's all they fucking done. But I'm assuming Sunday would probably be, like, best in slot harmony for My Day. Oh, yeah, he wants imaginary characters. Yeah, he wants imaginary because of his technique. Thank God I didn't skip Sunday. Yeah. I really hope they add someone else that like please just can we get Sunday number 2, or like can we literally get like Monday that's like Sunday's long lost brother that can also buff remembrance DPSs, because it's getting a bit out of hand at this point. Like there's just so many fucking new DPSs that want to use Sunday. No, Vudana, 100%. I don't think My Day will be like, it makes no sense. All the leakers are saying he does the most damage in the game, like period. Like they're hyping it up as if it's gonna be like a significant like increase in overall damage per screenshot than anyone else in the entirety of the game. And if that's a sub DPS, we're fucking screwed. Like I'm just gonna say it how it is. We're fucking screwed for the future if the strongest DPS when he releases becomes a sub DPS a patch later. Hey, I said it. I said it, Exodius. I said it. I was here. I made like 3 or 4 videos trying to like tell people believe in the Sunday church. Even though I don't like Sunday's design or him in the story, like you just have to believe in the meta. Like I could sniff it from him. When I saw his Lycone, his E1, his overall kit, I could smell the future potential in him. People didn't want to listen, man. Still pissed I lost a 50-50 on Sunday? Hey, you're not the only one, man. You're not the only one. Oh, 100% random guy. Like, I literally saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, you're telling us the Eidolons before we know literally anything about her kit or how these Eidolons affect her kit at all? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this information? Like, imagine someone telling you, like, showing you Acheron, like, leaking Acheron's E2 back then, before her kit ever got leaked, and people just being absolutely fucking confused by, like, what it actually meant. Like, people would have been, like, confused as hell. Like, how does this affect Acheron? Like, why is this in her E2? Why does this affect her? Yeah, like that's another thing. Like 99% of people do not care about Eidolons. Like I understand that there's like that 5% of people who play this game who are light spenders, and then like the last 1% are people who are like heavy spenders. But like can you drop some information for the rest of the 95% of the population, please? Kind of wish Sunday became a sparkle so people would understand the dot situation. Why are you hating on Spark? Oh, I mean not Sparkle, Sunday, man. Sunday ain't do nothing to you. You should never be like trying to curse a character with like the curse of Sparkle. Like that's genuinely just like pure hatred from the soul. I mean, a lot of okay, so because like gotcha games like these are, especially Honkai Star Rail, like they're incredibly time convenient. Like a lot of people only care about characters Exodius. So like a lot of people who play gotcha games are lazy people or people who are already busy in life for like reasons, right? So like these people who are busy in life, they might like work higher end jobs. Like I feel like it's a lot more common for higher end job people to play gotchas in like a competitive game or some shit, right? So they drop a shit ton of money on these mobile games. I'm telling you, man, I've seen it firsthand. People who are busy in life and aren't really like hardcore gamers, they love spending money on their mobile games. They fucking love it. Like it's just the convenience, man. Like I've literally seen like my own friends drop like hundreds and hundreds on fucking pool. Like a game of pool. Yeah, that too, Ben. Yeah, that too. Like some people like to flex E2s, flex E6s, like do showcases showing them like autoing zero cycle like the MOC and shit like that, right? Like for some people it's also like a status thing or it makes them feel better over others. Ugh. I'd rather play DMC5 because that's actually a fun game. Yeah, my cousins told me a lot about DMC5. I haven't played it myself though. Yeah, Casters might be good with Lingshaw. Why? What is a castress? Why does she a dragon named Pollen? Man, who knows, man? It's always Pollen. It's always these castresses. Oh, really, Ray? Yeah, it is easier to grind in real life than it is in a game. I think as a kid, right, like at least personally, it is very easy to get absorbed in video games as a kid compared to when you grow older. You know, no, you guys want to know what something's fun? You want to know something funny? So I was randomly on like Twitter this morning, right, to look for leaks because I usually go to Razor Language, like his Twitter account, to see if there are any new leaks, and then like afterwards I'll check the Reddit, right? But I came across a tweet on my For You page, and one of them was a Mr. Pokey tweet, and he put something like, "Put down the teams that you used in MOC and you struggled with." I'm assuming for like a video idea, and bro, some guy had an E2 Acheron and E2 Firefly, and he did not beat the MOC in 10 cycles. He took 13 cycles with an E2 Acheron and an E2 Firefly. Like, yeah, it literally has to be relics or something. Yeah. Like I saw a bunch of people with like E1 Fireflies, E2 Acherons, and they were this made me realize, right? Because the entire argument cuz he was trying to say like he was trying to Mr. Pokey made that tweet to combat power creep, I'm guessing. So he was going to take or use other people's accounts and try to clear the MOC with their exact same characters, probably, right? Like and show people that power creep isn't like a real thing or whatever for content. But like almost everyone in his comment section that couldn't clear had Eidolons or Lycones. Ironically. Yeah. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then, like, the crazy thing is, these people were, like, calling themselves, like, free to play shit. Like, maybe they got lucky, but, like, I saw one guy, and I know, right? I know this guy is capping his ass off because he was in the comments saying, oh, I'm a free to play, by the way. And he had an E2, he as well had an E2 Firefly and E2 Acheron. Like, you could see it. He's like, I'm a free to play, by the way. Like, how the fuck do you get E2 Acheron and E2 Firefly as a free to play? How is that even possible? You would have had to skip like 4 patches in a row. Like, I'm not falling for it, man. I'm not falling for it. This is propaganda. He's an imposter. There's just no way. No, 100%. Some people who play this game are genuinely like a bit smooth brain, and it just makes it look worse for like the rest of us. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Grizzly. It is. I mean, then again, that is who like HSR is targeting towards because they want people who only play on auto battle and know nothing about the game to suddenly feel their DPS is like taking longer to clear and instantly drop money, right? Like that is pretty obvious, but as a low spender, I feel offended hearing that. Nice. Is it in replies? Why can't I find it anymore? Whatever. As a free to play player, this makes me feel better about myself. I mean, some people are just genuinely smooth brain. Like it's the exact same shit in Fortnite. Like, oh my god. Like I know you guys can't relate because a lot of you probably don't play Fortnite at all. But there is like I'll completely shit on someone in that game, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, you're an absolute fucking no life. You never get off this game." But there's a website you can use to see how many hours people have played on the game, and every single time I've ever used that website, it's been someone with like double my hours played. Every fucking time. It's like the exact same thing in these gacha games. It's like the people who spend the most money are the dumbest usually. I'm not gonna hold you. QQ had a generational fall off. Bro, like the only thing she really had was like mono quantum. Like I think it was holding on barely. QQ is quantum, right? Or am I wrong? Or is she like lightning or something? I think she's quantum. Like I remember back at the beginning of 2.x, mono quantum was genuinely like a good team. Like it was genuinely like talked about. Like oh my god, mono quantum is this the future meta? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I did Flogon. Yeah, Ben. It's like it's funny too, right? Like I never argue with the people because it's genuinely hilarious. Because I'll not play the game for the week for like a week or two, or even months at times. I'll get on for like an hour or two, and I'll have someone completely raging at me randomly because I'm shitting on them, and they're trying to tell me like how often I play the game. Yeah, I did see Brant's animations. Yeah, I'm gonna pull for Brant. Yeah, Sparkle is. Silverwolf found dead in a ditch. I mean, what can you do about it? Like, it was bound to happen, right? It happened to Sparkle with Sunday. You know, someone had to take Silverwolf's job eventually. It just had to happen. You know, Anoxa's coming up. He said, fuck Silverwolf. I heard this girl isn't meta anymore, so let me just steal her kit real quick and make it even better. It's basically that simple. Who is Brant? He's a new character releasing on the second side of 2.1 Wuthering Waves. Like after this patch of 2.0, he's gonna be in that. He's a healer and sub DPS. It is what it is, beer. I mean, you can still get use out of a Sparkle, especially if you have her at E2 S1. Like I think an E2 S1 Sparkle is better than an E0 S0 Sunday. I think the thing is once you get that light cone for Sunday, like Sparkle is just worse. Like the second he gets that light cone, it's that light cone that really like ups Sunday's value over Sparkle. Like, cause at base, right? Like at base, there is still like some teams where you might be able to use a Sparkle instead. But the second he gets that light cone, it's not fair. Especially like for the fact that he gives that 20% energy regen on ult. Like that automatically makes him the best in slot for Dill because Dill wants to spam his ultimate as much as he can. The thing is, Ben, even if they did that, Anoxa would completely blow Silverwolf out of the water even further. Because apparently, like, Silverwolf needs her ult to do the weakness implant. And on top of that, like, it takes like 2 or 3 turns to get her ult and its single target. And Anoxa, I think, like, naturally just adds weaknesses, like, multiple times over. Probably to, like, multiple characters at once. Or enemies at once. Oh yeah, like someone came in my chat like yesterday when I was talking about like the power creep shit, and they were like, "Oh, my E1 S1 full premium dot team still clears just fine," and it's like, yeah, try running them at E0 S0, man. Try running them at E0 S0. It's a completely different story. Like E1s for the dot team really makes a difference. I forgot Exodius. I forgot. But still, she is only single target, and she requires way more energy and skill points. While Anoxa just fucking adds it to multiple mobs at once and does it over and over again. It's just way better quality of life. On top of the fact that Anoxa seems to have like his own type of vulnerability that scales off of his attack. Like enemies take more damage from a percentage of his attack, which I'm curious how that'll work. And because he's dot, you can also use him in like an Acheron team probably as well. Like he's just way fucking better. Yeah, sub DPS can be used in an Acheron team because of the dot. Like has his own attack vulnerability, like implant weakness. He has the entire everything. Like he has everything. I mean, he could Exodius. He could. It just depends on how much like the scaling for like his attack vulnerability is. If it's really really good and he on top of that he's as well a sub DPS, he genuinely could be like a decent addition for the dot team. It depends on the damage and how good the vulnerability he has. Because let's be honest, a 3.x quote unquote sub DPS could do a shit ton more damage than like Kafka or Black Swan ever could. Like the sub DPS here is referring to a 3.x character. So like this is the equivalent of saying like 1.x main DPS numbers probably, if we're all being honest. Like we're talking like Dill Jingliu numbers most likely with Anoxa. Well, the difference is, Ben, like I am saying that it's a situational thing. However, the thing is, Zhao Q doesn't even do like all that much damage. Like you can't even call Zhao Q like necessarily a sub DPS because he doesn't do all that much damage. I'm mostly basing this off of the fact that they're calling Anoxa a sub DPS and that he's apparently like really good for any crit DPS in the game, like period. Does Brant not have crit rate in his thing? Doesn't Shorekeeper have crit rate as a buff? I mean, Jiaoqiu just used to be way stronger in general in his earlier versions. Like, that man just got nerf after nerf after nerf. I think that's genuinely the worst, like, case and row of nerfs we've, like, ever seen for a character ever. Like, people see how good Jiaoqiu is for Acheron still, even after, like, the V5 and V6. And they're like, oh my god, I told you so, guys. But what people do not understand is that, like, Jiaoqiu was so much more universal in his earlier versions at E0S0. In the later versions, like, he's still decent in some teams. But it's, like, the only team he's really a best in slot in is for Acheron. Like, that's the difference between, like, V5, V6 versus, like, his earlier V1s and V2s. Like, he was that broken in his earlier versions. That's why I don't take people seriously when they're like, oh, look at Jiaoqiu's value now. And it's like, yeah, but that, like, that's for Acheron and that's it, man. Like, he's for sure... I've seen him in some different teams outside of Acheron, but it's almost always with the Lycone or Eidolons. And even then, he doesn't make, like, that big of a difference really at all at E0S0. So he's balanced? No, Jiaoqiu by no means is a balanced character. He's a fucking terrible pull if you don't have an Acheron. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you don't have an Acheron and you don't plan on investing in, like, the Lycone or Eidolons, he's an absolutely terrible pull. I wouldn't consider that balanced. When you release an entirely, like, new limited character, and that new limited character is literally only good for, like, one other DPS, like, that's terrible fucking pull value. Yeah, every recent limited nihility has been fucking, like, barely nihility related. You know, at least Zhaoqiu does better than Fugue. I'm not gonna lie, Zhaoqiu does a better job with, like, the whole nihility path than Fugue does. Because Fugue literally doesn't do shit at all that's nihility related with her ult. Like, you'd think a nihility character would have some type of nihility something in their ultimate, but they don't. I mean, that's just not balanced, though. Like, there are so many limited characters in this game that are better pulls than Zhao Q. Like, if we talk about the entirety of 2.x, Like only some like dot characters and other characters are worse, but like Jiaoqi's like on the bottom half of characters that you'd pull for. And even then, he's even further down from the bottom half, like bottom quarter. And Sparkle isn't even broken. Sparkle was broken for literally like 2 patches until Robin released. And then it got even worse when fucking Sunday released as well. Still very good. Still very good. Still very usable. Best in slot in like E2, S1, Acheron, and Dill teams, but like most other teams, it was just Robin and fucking Branya usually. Or Ruan Mei. If you're going to go for the HP scaling characters, yeah, beer. I think so. Because they more specifically, like, it's not even like just a sustain meta. It's a abundance meta. And the only limited abundances in the game are Luocha, Lingsha, and Huohuo. So like if you're gonna run like 2 HP scaling teams, you need at least like 2 limited sustains. Ling Cha is literally like the best character Hoyo has done in a long time that's like exceeded expectations and versatility. Like I've never seen a more versatile character than Ling Sha. It doesn't get better than her. All that Doom posting about 10% Gallagher for literally like fucking nothing. Do you think Paylo is gonna get overshadowed? I think Paylo will still be a fine, like free to play option, but she probably will be replaced by a Noxa if I had to guess. Like it just is what it is. Like a limited 3.x character is finally gonna be able to help Acheron more than like a 1.x 4-star. And like other crit DPS is more than a 1.x 4-star. Like, if anything, Payla lasted a really good time. Like, Payla lasted a really fucking long time. She's really, like, one of the goats of 4-stars. Like, even with Gallagher, like, Gallagher was a 2.x. Payla was a 1.x. Anoxa's in everyone's support cartoon, except for break teams. It's not just an Acheron support. Probably will be able to like do more for Acheron than a Pela. But I don't even think Acheron will be a Noxa's best in slot team. I'm going to be completely honest. Like there's probably going to be a lot of other crit DPSs that can maybe use him better. Anoxa is the second phase of 3.2 alongside Castris. Yeah. Gonna try to go for Ling Shaw, sorry Aglaya. Hey, you shouldn't even be saying sorry Aglaya. I mean, if you end up getting Castris, like it would have been a bad idea to go for Aglaya anyways. Because Aglaya uses Castris' exact same best in slot teammates. Like you wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. What does Castris do again? She has a summon that's a black dragon and she's an HP scaler. Who, according to the leakers, will consume the HP of everyone on her team, including herself. That's literally all we know. We know more about Anoxa than Castris, because I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. 100% chance that the leakers are currently gatekeeping Castris' kit. Like it's not even a question. They're just 100% gatekeeping it right now. I'm really confident they already have like some details for her just base kit, but they're just withholding it currently. to like build hype or like drip feed or whatever. Because it makes no sense for a character who comes after Castris to have her base kit like leaked, even though Castris comes out earlier. Unless they were just fucking messing around. Yeah, she has a black dragon. Just look it up. Like on YouTube, search up like Honkai Star Rail, and one of the first things that'll show up is the new short showing her with her dragon. I'm pretty sure the dragon is like her sister or something. I don't know, Exodius. I'm not gonna lie. I don't find like any of these gacha game characters necessarily attractive. I'm just like, I don't know how to explain it. But if I had to choose, like design wise, it's probably like Fei Xiao. I mean, actually, no, it's probably Aglaya. No, Aglaya probably has the best female design in the game now, if we include 3.0. But like, I don't feel attractiveness to literally any of these fucking gacha characters. I think some of them are really cool though, like Brant and like Geshu Lin, who I've been waiting for my day. Yeah, apparently. So apparently, like Castoris and her dragon name is Pollux, and Pollux is like her sister, apparently. So apparently, it's genuinely based off of like an old story, except they just gender bent it. So it used to be, I think, like two brothers. However, now it's two sisters in Honkai Star Rail. It's literally the exact same. It's based off the same story. So I'm pretty sure the dragon that Castris has is her little sister. Yeah. I get it. You are the most normal people here. It's just that, like, I'm not trying to, like, be like, oh, guys, look at me. I'm not gooning to fucking HSR characters. Look at me. I'm the special guy. But, like, it's hard for me to answer questions like that when I genuinely don't feel anything for them. Like, asking my opinion on who's the hottest character in a gacha game is genuinely, like, one of the worst things you can ask me for. Yeah, Exodius, yeah. Like, I'm such a feels crafter, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm such a feels crafter. Like, the more badass someone looks, the more I want to pull for them. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Aglaya's design is fucking sick. I actually wanted to pull for her for a bit, but it's just like, oh man, like, you're the first of the path, really? You're the first of the path? Come on, man. I mean, yeah, that too, Kurosho, that too. My exact thoughts on my day, yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie. Am I the only one that, like, realized that my day looks completely different in when like we got the in-game trailer versus like the first trailer with the 2D art? Like my day actually looks different in a good way. Like I liked his in-game model more than the 2D art, unlike Castris, who I liked worse. But I like originally I had no interest in my day because I thought he'd be mid in terms of like an in-game model, but he was way better than expected. Yeah, Exodius. It would have been just slightly better if he was Remembrance as well. I'm not gonna lie. But to be honest, I expected it. Like a lot of people were speculating that like the lion that he had in like the trailer was a summon. But I feel like I said it from the beginning since the first time I saw it. Like he himself, like that was his aura, basically. That wasn't actually like an actual summon or like a creature. Yeah, I read it, Flogon. I just don't think I'm gonna be able to get his signature at all. Like it doesn't even matter if it's a must pull. I'm probably just not gonna be able to get it. I'll try, but who knows? I mean, if you're talking about being skill point hungry, no. The leakers said that when Maide goes into like his blood pool accumulates, and he's in like that rumored berserker state, he doesn't use any skill points even for like his enhanced skill. But the thing is, you can't control him, so it's like on auto. So because he takes no skill points, he's in like a berserker mode. Yeah, Hoyo seems to be going crazy for imaginary characters that are men. Which honestly, I don't mind. Like, this game does not get enough dudes. So I'll gladly take it whenever I can, man. Especially meta ones. Like, let's be honest, all the big DPS drops in this game are almost always women. Every single time. Nice, Flogon. Like, Jing Liu was arguably better than Dill for a long time. Then Acheron. Then Firefly. Then Fei Xiao. Then the herd. Like, at the top of the meta, it's almost always a woman and not a dude. Yeah, My Day has way, way probably better scaling in HP than Blade. Yeah, I also want Castress leaks, man. Yeah, Ben. Exactly. I think My Day will still last like a long while in the 3.x patches. It's just that I get the feeling that every DPS that releases after Castress will be as strong, if not stronger, than Castress. And My Day doesn't reach Castress's level probably. So it's like he'll be good for I think he'll feel fine, right? Like good for the first half of the 3.x patches, but after that he might start falling off, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the same way Akron was really good in 2.1 and then around 2.5 by Fei Xiao's banner, if you didn't have a Zhao Q, your Akron just felt significantly worse. It's kind of the same situation. All right, guys. I'm going to end the stream here. I'm so tired. It's like 2 in the morning, and I'm also hungry. So I appreciate you all stopping by, but you know what it is. 3 hour stream, longer than I expected it to be. I hope you all have a good day. I hope you have a good night. And peace to all you lovely